It's the evening of October 14, and yesterday we placed some more concrete in three more footings, which are going to be three more walls. After the footing is poured, especially for the property line, I go ahead and I re-pull that line to make sure that the wall goes exactly where it needs to. Hopefully, whoever does this has a survey marker, and on the bottom of my laser here, there is my survey marker. It's been painted pink around here a long time ago by me, and then I repaint it every now and then just to make sure I don't lose this because it's an expensive marker. So we did have to take one marker out during the installation of this wall, but part of the reason for doing this wall installation, that one first and then this one, is because I had another survey marker here and I could line up this survey marker with the one over here with my nice Leica laser level. So now that this wall has been installed, I go ahead and I used the pin that was down here. I lined up the laser again and marked exactly where you can see the points. What I'm TOW, top of wall. That was me trying to figure out how high the wall was gonna be. But you can see there's a nice vertical line. That's the property line. Property line's here, and then if you notice, there's a mark 5/8 of an inch over. That's where the block is going to go. And then of course this line here, that's gonna be center of block. So if you notice, all of the blocks were filled during that pour as well, except for the wall in the back. We were a yard short. So looking from the top, so I spent a fair amount of time today orienting this this column and then setting it, because this wall isn't level, of course. It's significantly downhill, and in order to build this wall, you got to start at the bottom and just work your way up. And because it's only sitting on a liquidy substance, there's going to be a lot of downward force. So if you get this first block set first, then you don't have to worry about it sliding anywhere. Pinning it, it's a lot more problematic. I've tried it before. It's just better if you get your first block in the day before. So these blocks have all been laid out. I had to do a little bit of cutting for the angle, the junction between that first block and the column. And then I started laying this block out, and I gotta say, this is gonna be, this wall and this wall right here is gonna be challenging. Now, how did I set this up? I set this up so that I think there's 30 inches between, the piece of PVC is what I expect the top of the wall to be. So it just works out that I said, why don't we hold this to 30 inches until we have a slope change. And when we have this slope change, I want a nice straight line from here down to the slope change. So to elaborate on that same note, I did the same thing at the level down below. And that's what I spent a little time this afternoon doing so far. I've gotten the first 3 pieces cut. It's like, well, 3 pieces. It takes a little while. It takes a little while to get right, especially when the wall itself is not level. This is not a level wall. It's actually tipping downhill a little bit because this wall tips down a little bit, and this wall behind it also tips down. Now, even to the trained eye, it's really hard to tell that it's not actually level. In fact, when I had it level, it looked like this side was diving down. So didn't like that feeling, so we changed the way it looks. So if we look here, we should have a parallel line here, and then that same pivot point, which is right here. It's 2 3/4, 3 inches over on this block. It starts uphill at a rate of 2 3/4 inches for every 16. So it works out that I got about 3 pieces that go to 0, and then the next course, of course, will just ride on top of that, and then I'll have to do the same thing for the next 3 blocks. So there are 2 blocks in between here, so it looks like this is gonna happen a couple times. Takes about an hour to cut these 3 pieces to still make it right, because it's also curved. And with it being curved, this side needs more space because it's an outside radius than this side. So I end up having to cut this as well. Anyway, just takes time. But I think tomorrow my block installer is gonna come. He does the block installation. I do all the cutting and making sure that the curve is the way that it needs to be, etc. So that's it for this part of today. I've got stonework going on in the back, and that'll probably be a different video. And tomorrow we're installing the pavers in front of the driveway. So this is we're really hitting it hard right now. It looks like we may be getting rain at the end of next week. So we're working on all fronts to try to get things in place before rain.